Welcome to the Lent reflection for the third Sunday in Lent. I'm Caro Hemmings and this is coming to you from St Paul's at Mirrabooka, which also functions as the chapel for John Septimus Row Anglican Community School. Our Gospel reading for today is popularly known as the parable of the Barren Fig Tree, and it falls into two sections. The latter half may have particular appeal to any keen gardeners. It's interesting to note that cutting down a tree seemed to divide opinion as much in Jesus' time as it can do today. In the first part of our reading, reference is made to two events that are well known to the audience but not detailed to us. We could title them "Bad Things Seem to Happen to Unsuspecting People." For our purposes, we could call that the refugee crisis, or the erupting war, or the ongoing struggle with the pandemic. People suffering without warning, and often without any clear or justifiable reason. It makes me think how precarious our existence is. Jesus was very quick to emphasise that the victims in the story he tells had done nothing wrong. Nothing had characterised their demise. Jesus refers to life as capricious, as we can sometimes find it today. In the 16th century, the philosopher Hobbes famously called life nasty, brutish, and short. Jesus doesn't seek to defend God for allowing these things to happen. He just makes it clear that we mustn't equate tragedy with divine punishment, that sin doesn't always make atrocities come. Sometimes they just come. Similarly though, our faith doesn't prevent calamity from befalling us. Friends, we are going to fall ill. We will experience loss, and ultimately, we're all going to die. Life's fragility gives it its urgency. And Jesus wants to talk urgently about repentance. Thus, this is a very topical reading for the season of Lent. A cultivated yet unproductive tree may continue to live without bearing fruit, but only because it's been given additional time to do this, literally a stay of execution. Patience and mercy, characterised by the gardener, temporarily keep judgment at bay. But the tree has not been left to its own devices. Everything possible is being done to get it to bear fruit. And hence we have its relevance to us. God does not leave us to our own resources, but he encourages us in every possible way to set our lives aright. Repentance throughout Luke is not about moral uprightness, but it's presented as something God gives us, a new way of thinking, seeing something in a different light, a different perspective when we become stuck with our existing one. Tragedy and hardship can have their ways of nudging people towards God, but so too do beauty, creation, and kindness. We know the need for repentance. Here the emphasis is on the urgency. Human life and all the blessings we enjoy are a gift, but fragile ones. Vulnerable creatures that we are, we can presume little and do little to preserve ourselves. Yet the Christian outlook on repentance arcs towards joy, grace, and redemption. Jesus doesn't explain the causes of violence. He doesn't blame the victims. He doesn't attempt to defend the Creator, but asks with urgency, what about you? How will you live the life you've been given? God transforms us through his grace, a grace that calls us to be generous to those who are still trapped under the weight of poverty, want, and devastation of all kinds. This Lent, may we be transformed. I've taken our closing prayer from the words of Whittier's poem, which you may well know as a hymn. Transforming God, drop thy still dews of quietness, till all our strivings cease. Take from our souls the strain and the stress, and let our ordered lives confess the beauty of thy peace. Breathe through the heat of our desire, thy coolness and thy balm. Let sense be dumb, let flesh retire. Speak through the earthquake, the wind and the fire, O still small voice of calm.